5 reasons why the Google Pixel devices can never compete with the Apple iPhones. Hey peeps, what's up? Manji here, back with another video, and let us talk about why the Google Pixels cannot have a good enough, or say a competitive market share as the Apple iPhones have. And we are making this video because the Pixel 6 have launched along with the Pixel 6 Pro, and the prices are just undercutting Apple iPhone 13 and the 13 Pro, all those series, by say $50, I think, for the Google Pixel 6 and $100 for the Google Pixel 6 Pro. So clearly Google is trying to compete with Apple, but the Pixels have their own shortcomings, which I think Google needs to work on and fix those shortcomings if they ever want to compete with the likes of the Apple iPhones. The first reason, my dear friends, is customer care. So if you were to buy an iPhone, right, and you have any issues with the device, you can talk to a human being on the phone. You can chat with somebody online, or you can just walk into the Apple store, have your issues fixed. Welcome to the land of Google, where everything is AI. You got a new Pixel? Do you have somebody to talk to on the phone? No. Do you have a Google store where you can walk in and get your issues resolved? You have one in New York, but that is the only one which you have. So very difficult to find somebody to talk to if you have any issues with your Pixel. And it is not me who is complaining. If you go to the Reddit sub forum for Pixel devices, you will read the horror stories. It is super duper impossible to find a human being to talk to get your issues fixed about the Pixel. It's all AI. And God forbid, if you have any hardware issues with your device, oh my God, the horror stories which I have read on the Reddit subforum, some of those threads are linked in the description of the video, and it is horrendous. I mean, in this age, you will have to be without your phone for some time. They do not have repair parts at their U break iFix thing. People are looking for replacements for their devices, and they have to jump through a bunch of hoops, wait for emails, 72-hour wait, 24 hours wait for response from people, escalated to a different department, and that wait keeps on going on and on and on. However, on the other hand, if I have an Apple product, say the iPhone, I break my screen, right? I can walk into any Apple store and they have same day screen replacement within hours. Within hours, you will be back up and running. So, customer care from Google, device repair from Google is totally horrendous, is all I can say right now. And the improvements which they have to make in this department are like, they'll have to do tenfold improvement, in my humble opinion. Next up is the ecosystem. Now, I know a bunch of you out there would be hating Apple for having that ecosystem, but trust me, that ecosystem is working for Apple. Once you get into that ecosystem, it is very difficult to leave it. Business is all about retaining customers, and that is where Google lacks. What do we have? We have over here the Pixel 6. What is the ecosystem of this device? Pixel buds, that's it. Do you have a smartwatch? No. Do you have a tablet? No. Do you have a computer, a laptop? Yeah, you have Chromebooks, but how well do all of these products from Google, like the Pixel Buds, the Pixel 6, how well, along with Chrome OS, do they work together? No, right? Your answer or your guess is as good as mine. The ecosystem from Google is, again, as compared to Apple, it doesn't exist. For Apple, you have iPhone, Apple Watch, iPad, AirPods, MacBooks. All of these work seamlessly together. And that is what people want. It's all about the ecosystem. Samsung has realized this. It's all about the ecosystem. So you have Galaxy phones, Galaxy Buds, Galaxy Watch. So Samsung has their own little ecosystem going on over there. Google, they don't have an ecosystem. It's like even if they want to try, they cannot. Wear OS 3, best example, latest Wear OS launched on Galaxy watches, and some features are exclusive, and you will be able to use those if and only if you have a Samsung device. Says a lot about Wear OS. So ecosystem is missing now. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this point, you might hate Apple for having an ecosystem, but that ecosystem is clearly working for them. Google has had what, 10 years? They've tried a bunch of things. Every time they fail. Where is the Pixel Watch? Do you have a good Android tablet which exists right now? It doesn't. So, yes, that ecosystem has its advantages and its disadvantages, but it does retain customers in the end. So, if you have to compete with the likes of Apple, you do need an ecosystem. Next up is software. Now, I know a lot of you will be like, why are you talking about software? Android gives us much more freedom as compared to iOS. And I agree with that, which is one of the reasons why I am still using these Pixel devices because I love my freedom. I love the fact that I can install a different launcher, choose what apps I want to see on my home screen, create my folders. But with Android and specifically with the Pixel devices, the software itself is broken. And let me give you a very basic example. I switched from this Pixel 3 to the Pixel 6. I connected the USB cable to, do my data transfer. And once the data transfer was done, I was super duper shocked to see that I would have to log in into all my applications again on the Pixel 6 with iOS, with iPhone. If you're switching your iPhone and you take a backup of your iPhone on your MacBook, or say you take a backup of on iCloud and then you restore it on the new device is right there where you left off on the old device. Everything is signed in. You do not have to sign back into your accounts one more time and go through all those issues of setting up the apps again and again. And then, which production device out there has something called beta? You shipping Android 12 with a beta feature? I mean, this is a production device, this is a production build. Remove this beta. What is the first impression for someone who's going to buy a new Pixel? What will be the impression they get when they see this beta? They will feel like a beta tester, and that experience, that feeling, I don't know about you, but as a new user, I wouldn't want beta software or say the word beta written anywhere on the software of a production device. Absolutely terrible decisions. And then no matter how much we criticize iOS for not giving users the freedom and treating them like babies, but the fact that this iPhone 6s can run iOS 15, a device from 2015 can run the latest iOS right now. 6 OS updates says a lot about Apple. So with Google, we always used to think that, hey, it's Qualcomm to blame because they do not support the device or they do not provide drivers. But what about the Pixel 6? You launched your own chip. I mean, you call it your own chip, but everybody knows how much role Samsung has to play in this hardware. But even with your own chip, you cannot guarantee 5 or 4 OS updates. Seriously, you have got to be kidding me. Next up is resale value and actual value of the device. Google's own Pixel lineup. The prices drop like crazy. Within 6 months, you can get a used Pixel device for half the price. Is that possible with an iPhone? No. iPhones hold their value. And another super important thing to note over here is that whenever, say, a new device launches, let us say I have iPhone 13 and then iPhone 14 launches, if I go to trade that device into a carrier or somewhere else, I will get good value for my iPhone. That is something which is pretty sure. Even if I sell it in the secondary market on websites like Swappa, Craigslist, eBay, I will get good value for my iPhone. That is not true for your Pixel devices. They drop in value like crazy. I think the Pixel 3 right now is worth like 40 or $50. That's about it. The Pixel 2 XL over here, maybe like somebody give me $25 for it, I'll be more than happy, I guess. But I mean, yeah. So these devices, the Pixels, they drop in value too fast. And that is again from the point of view of somebody who, wants to get the latest iPhone every year. If after 1 year I'm getting good value for my device, it just motivates me and keeps me in the ecosystem. Whereas if the device is gonna drop in half the price within 6 months of launch, I mean, people want the latest tech, and then for their old device, they want the best price. And Pixels do not hold their value and price, as simple as that. And last but not the least, let us talk about security and privacy. So now with Android 12, Google has given you the option of, disabling your camera access and microphone access system wide. Now, is it good? Yes. But is it better than Apple? No. These options are not better than Apple, and I'll tell you why. It is because of how these companies are. See, Google is an advertising company. Apple is a product based company. They sell hardware. So for Apple, when they say that privacy and security are at the top of their list, they mean it, because it is Apple who went against NSO Group, the developers of Pegasus, right? Apple tells their users if they were being tracked with Pegasus. There is a version of Pegasus for Android, but did Google do anything about it? Anything from Google? No. Apple went against Facebook one on one, causing them revenue loss with the privacy features which they added, wherein you have to opt in to be tracked. But on Android, it is the opposite. You are being tracked by default, and Google and Facebook. There's another thing which is going on wherein, say, Sundar Pichai and Mark, they are in bed together. Why? Because it's all about advertising money for both of these companies. So Google is primarily an advertising company and they want your data. Apple, more of a hardware company, hardware products, they want your data, but not as badly as Google. So, with respect to your security and privacy, again, Apple is any day better than Google. And I mean, it is unfortunate to say so, but that is the real truth. In this current year, 2022, and in the last year, 2021, the features which Apple has brought in with iOS with respect to security and privacy, commendable and pretty awesome, pretty dope features. And there it is, peeps. Those were my 5 reasons as to why the Google Pixel devices can never beat the iPhones, the MacBooks, the Apple Watches in the United States of America. And once you get into the ecosystem, it is very difficult to get out, which is why Google should be working on building their own ecosystem instead of whining about iMessage not being compatible with RCS. And of course, do let me know your opinion in the comments below, and please let us keep it civil without crossing that thin line of being a supporter and being a fanboy, or say a blind fanboy.